Hey guys, another vid, filming it at the same time, so I'm still a bit sketchy on these video things. God, I sound old. So yeah, looking more particularly at video 114 on Hegarty, which is your multiplying and division with Surds part 2. So this time we're still, as it says, multiplying and dividing, but we're going to bring in coefficients now. So the first example that it's throwing at me is 3 root 3 times 5 root 3. So this one straight away brings up two important things to talk about. First of all, what the hell does that even mean? 3 lots of root 3. That's essentially like me saying 3x times 5x. And we would treat it the exact same way. You essentially have two questions in one. You're going to do 3 times 5 is 15. And you do x times x is x squared. So we have 3 lots of root 3 times 5 lots of root 3. Now, with the x bit, x times x is x squared. What I could do here with, I'll tell you what, let's reach for the highlighter, it might be easier. So the root, no, maybe not actually. Live and learn. So root 3 times root 3. I could do this in one of two ways. 3 times 3 is 9, as we discussed in the last video. So root 3 times root 3 is root 9. And if we're going to do surd work, what we should probably do once again is write out our square numbers, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144. And so straight away we know that 9 is 3. Now what you can remember here, we often write it as a rule, it's an extension, is that root A times root A is just A. It gets rid of the square root. We can link this into other areas of maths as the square root. Writing something to the square root is to the power of a half. So we actually have a to the half times a to the half. And if you remember from your laws of indices, I mean, I mentioned at the end of the last video about overly complicated looking questions, but actually have a simple task. When we multiply indices and the base is the same, the base being a here, we just add them. So a to the half times a to the half out of half is 1, a to the 1, which is why we get this rule. So yes, you can work it out like that, but if you ever are multiplying a surd by its same surd, by itself, don't, when you're a higher student, you don't waste time writing out like that. You just go straight to 3. So on this one then, going back to actually answering it, we've got 3 times 5, which is 15. And we've got root 3 times root 3, which is just 3. Now, obviously, we're going to tidy that up. We're not going to do all the hard work and then just leave it as 15 times 3. So our answer is 45. Let's have a look back on Hegarty then. Let's move up the difficulty a little bit. Sometimes you're not going to be able to simplify it as far as you'd like. So the next example it's given me is 4 lots of root 5 times 3 lots of root 2. So again, break it up into the two easier questions. Coefficient times coefficient. 4 times 3 is 12. And then do your surd. Root 5 times root 2, as we did last video, is root 10. Can I simplify that? I mean, that's a whole nother video of can I simplify the surd. You are sent to simplify a surd. You're saying, well, can I squeeze? What's the biggest square number that I can divide into that? Now, obviously, since it's 10, I can't go higher up here. 9 doesn't go into it, 4 doesn't go into it, and 1 does, but that would be absolutely useless. So that is the answer just left there. So back to Hegarty then. Let's look for something a bit more. A division. Okay, so a basic division with coefficients. We've got 6 root 32 divided by 2 root 8. So again, even though it's a division, nothing has changed except we're dividing instead of multiplying. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. Root 32 divided by root 8. 32 divided by 8 is 4. So root 4. Spot your square numbers. Get used to spotting your square numbers. What can I do? Is there a way of simplifying that? Well, yeah, root 4 is 2. So that's the same as 3 times 2, which is obviously 6. Getting a bit more difficult then. Let's see what we can move up to. One that doesn't yet. Okay, one that doesn't necessarily simplify as much as we would like. So question 7, 14 root 55 divided by 2 root 5. Straight away, get your easy stuff for the coefficient. 14 divided by 2, 7. Root 55 divided by 5 is root 11. Can I simplify it? No, because 9 and 4 don't go into it, and 1's useless in this part. So, tougher questions so that you can get through to the end of this one then. You'll notice so far I've been writing the division like that. It's very uncommon that you will get it written like that. So we do have to get used. Let's just see if I can scroll. I'll have to shift this up a bit. There we go. So you will likely get your divisions written like this. This is question 9 even. So we've got 8 root 20 over 4 root 2. It's a much more mathematical way of writing division to just write it as a fraction. And it's literally, you are simplifying it the same. It's exactly what we've done here, but it's just written in a more proper mathematical way. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So root divided by root, so 2 root 10. And that's it. And finally then, the last tough one, question 10. This is the style that you should get as the last question on this video. 12 root 98 over 4 root 2. Do your coefficient first. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Root 98 divided by root 2, so it's going to be a root. 98 divided by 2 is 49. Straight away I'm looking at the top of my sheet, which I'm aware is cut off of the screen right now. Root 49 is 7, so that's 3 times 7, so 21, and that's all it is. I hope this has helped. Let me know, and I can hopefully start doing more of these videos and such. Hope you're all safe and your families are well. Drop us an email if you need anything else.